Welcome to today's Transformation Dive here on Earn Zone. So, you open your banking app and you flinch. Come on, you know the feeling. That little involuntary shudder as you tap the icon, bracing yourself for whatever number stares back. You've probably been avoiding it. Maybe it's the Monday morning after a particularly fun but frugal weekend. Or maybe it's just hitting mid-month and the numbers are already looking sad. But there it is, the number. And yeah, it's lower than you thought. Much lower. A not-so-pleasant wave of anxiety washes over you. Where did it all go? You didn't buy anything major, right? Nothing with a comma and more than 3 zeros, surely. Just the usual stuff. Groceries, gas, maybe a couple of impulse buys online late one night when sleep seemed less appealing than retail therapy. But nothing that screams financial disaster. Yet, here you are, feeling that familiar knot in your stomach, the one that whispers, you should be doing better. This is where most people get stuck. They see the low balance, feel the fear, and immediately start playing the blame game. It's human nature, right? Pointing fingers at the easy targets, the daily coffee, the streaming subscriptions that somehow multiplied, that one time you dared to eat out instead of cooking. You hear the common, well-meaning, but often unhelpful advice echoing in your head. Cut the lattes, cancel Netflix. And while those can be tiny pieces of a much larger puzzle, they're almost never the whole picture. It's a comforting myth, really. The pervasive idea that 1 or 2 small luxuries are the insurmountable barrier between you and financial freedom. If only it were that simple. If only cutting out avocado toast was the guaranteed path to millionaire status. Trust me, we'd all be lounging on private islands by now. But you've probably tried cutting here and there, haven't you? Maybe you white-knuckled it through a week of skipping the barista-made coffee. Did it magically solve everything? Did your savings account suddenly look robust? Probably not. The real enemy isn't the occasional indulgence, the one you actually enjoyed and budgeted for, or thought you did. It's something far more insidious, something hiding in plain sight, operating below your conscious awareness. Unconscious financial flow. It's the money that just leaks away without you even noticing because you're not actively directing it. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content that cuts through the noise, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think and keeps this valuable information flowing. Drop a comment with where you're watching from or your biggest money habit win so far. Let's build this community. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. The surprising fact here, the myth we need to bust wide open, is that focusing only on cutting small expenses is like trying to bail out a sinking ship with a teacup while ignoring the gaping hole in the hull. It feels like you're doing something, but the fundamental problem persists. The core concept we're tackling is shifting from reactive damage control, the post-bank check panic, to proactive financial awareness and direction. Money isn't just numbers, it's energy. And without conscious direction, that energy dissipates. People often underestimate the cumulative impact of undirected spending. That $50 here, $80 there, not on bills or savings, but on things you can barely remember buying a week later. It's the financial equivalent of forgetting to close the fridge door. Energy, money leaks out constantly, making the whole system inefficient. This one habit changed everything for me. I stopped looking at my bank account balance as a grade on a test I failed, and started seeing it as a dashboard providing real-time data on where my money is actually going. It's not about judgment, it's about information. Ask yourself, When you flinch at that number, is it because you don't like the number itself, or because you genuinely have no idea how it got there? If it's the latter, you're likely dealing with unconscious financial flow. Try this for a week. Instead of just checking the balance, scroll through the transactions from the last 7 days. Don't judge, just observe. Where did the money actually go? This simple act of looking beyond the final number is the first step in becoming the director of your financial flow, rather than just a passive observer watching it drain away. Section 12. Wind down, reflective close. Placeholder. Content to be generated after main narrative sections 2 to 6. Content to be generated. Slow pacing. Emphasize the one big takeaway from the entire video's narrative. Discuss the potential long-term benefit of implementing the strategies discussed. Offer a deeper insight about the relationship between money, discipline, and personal growth, connecting it back to the mindset shifts discussed. End with a reflective closing line like the example provided. So, let's talk about something most of us feel, even if we don't always admit it out loud. You work hard for your money. You put in the hours, maybe you hustle on the side. The money lands in your account, and then, poof. It seems to vanish faster than a free sample tray at a grocery store. It genuinely feels like your money has developed sentience and a mischievous personality, flowing out of your grasp before you can even get a handle on it. You are absolutely not alone in experiencing this financial vanishing act. For most people, their daily relationship with money operates entirely on autopilot. Money comes in, the big bills get paid, hopefully without too much nail-biting, and the rest just sort of drifts away. It's spent without much conscious thought, without a real plan, and certainly without much intentionality guiding its journey. This lack of awareness, this state of unconscious financial flow, is arguably the single biggest leak in the vast majority of people's financial boats. Think of it like driving your car while totally zoned out. You end up somewhere, but it's rarely the optimal destination, and you have no idea how you got there. Let's get really specific for a second. How much did you actually spend on groceries last month? Not just the big weekly shop where you filled a cart, but add in the quick stops for milk, the "oh, I forgot this one thing" convenience runs, the impulse snack buys at the checkout. How many subscriptions do you really use? Be honest. Is that streaming service you signed up for just in case still auto-renewing? When you grab coffee or lunch on the go, do you mentally log the cost? Or do you just pull out the plastic and swipe without a second thought? These small, seemingly insignificant decisions, made on repeat day after day, create a powerful, often destructive current pulling your money away from your goals. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts for your budget. And here's the surprising insight. The myth bust many people miss initially. It's often not the size of individual transactions that cause the most damage when you're in this autopilot state. It's the sheer mindlessness behind them. Money flows easily where there is no friction, no awareness, no conscious direction. It's like water finding the path of least resistance. Your financial situation today is less a reflection of how much money you make and far more a consequence of how effectively you direct the money you already have. The action required to break this cycle is deceptively simple, yet profoundly challenging for many. Acknowledge the autopilot. Accept, perhaps with a bit of humble pie, that you might not honestly know where your money is really going. This uncomfortable awareness, this moment of looking your financial reality in the eye, is the absolute first, non-negotiable step out of the unconscious flow zone and towards taking control. Ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of discovering? Welcome to today's transformation dive into unlocking your potential, specifically when it comes to your money and your life. Let's be real. For most people, talking about personal finance feels about as fun as getting a root canal while doing their taxes. It's stressful, it's confusing, and honestly, sometimes you just want to bury your head in the sand and pretend it's all going to magically work out. But what if I told you that gaining control of your finances isn't about restriction or complicated spreadsheets, but about building a simple, powerful awareness that changes everything? Think of it like leveling up in a game. You need to understand the rules of the world before you can master it. That's what we're here to do at Earn Flow Zone. If you're into real, actionable money and mindset content that helps you understand these rules and actually use them, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think and keeps this valuable information coming your way. And hey, drop a comment below with where you're watching from, or maybe share your biggest money habit win, no matter how small. Sharing helps build this community of growth. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. Section 3. Step 1. See the flow. You cannot change what you don't understand. It's a fundamental truth whether you're trying to fix a broken car, improve your fitness, or direct your financial future. You cannot direct a flow you can't see. And when it comes to money, the absolute, non-negotiable first step to gaining control is tracking your spending. Not guessing, not estimating with a hopeful shrug that says, "Oh, probably about this much." Knowing. You need to see where your money is actually going, not where you think or wish it was going. This is the foundational piece, the bedrock. And honestly, this is where many people hit a wall. Why? Because it feels like a tedious chore, like homework for grown-ups. Or worse, it feels like a judgment on past choices. It can feel vulnerable to look at the raw data. But it's not about judging your past self. They did the best they could with the information they had. This is about empowering your future self with the clarity needed to make different, better choices. Think of it like a doctor ordering diagnostic tests. They aren't looking at your results and muttering about your questionable life choices. They're gathering objective data to make an accurate diagnosis and plan a targeted treatment that actually works. My core insight here, forged in the trenches of managing my own money, is that tracking isn't primarily about immediately creating a restrictive budget where you suddenly have to cut out everything you enjoy. It's about creating a map. Your spending is the trace of your financial journey, and tracking draws that map. It shows you the undeniable reality of your financial landscape, not the convenient, often inaccurate story you tell yourself about it. You might confidently think you spend X amount on eating out each month, because you try to be good. But the raw data from tracking might shockingly reveal it's 2X or even 3X. Been there, done that, bought the slightly too expensive t-shirt. And that realization isn't a failure. It's simply information. It's just data points on the map, showing you where the rivers and mountains and perhaps unexpected swamps are. For a beginner with limited income, this map helps you see clearly where essentials are eating up the lion's share of your funds and where tiny, often overlooked leaks, hello daily impulse buys, are preventing you from saving even small amounts. For a mid-earner, tracking relentlessly reveals the creeping tendrils of lifestyle creep, that subtle upgrade here. that slightly more expensive habit there, that together siphon away significant wealth potential. For an ambitious builder focused on growth, tracking shows precisely where precious capital is tied up that could be redirected, optimized, or invested for greater returns. It's a surprising myth bust for many that this simple step is so revealing. This one habit, just tracking, changed everything for me because it shifted me from guessing to knowing. Your action today, right now, if you do absolutely nothing else from this script, for the next 3 days, commit to tracking every single dollar that leaves your possession, every coffee, every bill payment, every pack of gum. Use whatever tool is easiest for you. A simple note on your phone, a small notebook you carry everywhere, a basic tracking app like Mint or Pocket Guard if you're feeling techie. The tool doesn't matter. The data collection does. Do it without judgment, just pure observation. See the flow. After taking that crucial first step of seeing the flow, the true journey begins. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the data you collect, but remember, that information is your greatest ally. The one big takeaway from understanding where your money goes is this: awareness is the prerequisite for agency. You cannot make conscious decisions about your money if you don't first understand its unconscious path. This initial tracking, even just for those 3 days, unlocks the potential for profound long-term benefit. Suddenly, instead of feeling like money just disappears every month, you begin to see patterns, identify leverage points, and gain a sense of control you didn't know was possible. It shifts you from a passive passenger on your financial journey to the active pilot. This deeper insight about money, discipline, and growth is that they are inextricably linked to self-awareness. Your relationship with money is often a mirror of your relationship with yourself. Your habits, your values, your priorities, and even your fears. By diligently observing your financial flow, you're not just managing numbers, you're gaining a deeper understanding of your own behaviors and motivations. It's about aligning your spending with your values and your goals, building a life that truly reflects what matters to you, not just what autopilot dictates. It takes courage to look at the truth, but that courage is rewarded with clarity and the power to change your trajectory. It's a continuous process of learning, adjusting, and growing. In the end, your bank account will catch up to your mindset, not the other way around. Okay, you've tracked for a few days. Maybe you're peeking at that spreadsheet or app with a mix of pride and mild horror. Or you're just committed to starting this crucial step. Now comes the part that genuinely makes many people flinch: budgeting. Just hearing the word can conjure mental images of clipping coupons under dim lights, saying a sad goodbye to your favorite barista, and generally living a life devoid of anything remotely fun. This is the classic financial diet mentality. And honestly, it's almost always unsustainable. Think about it. Diets, especially crash diets, often fail because they focus solely on restriction and deprivation, rather than creating a healthy, balanced lifestyle you can maintain. You feel deprived, you resent the process, and eventually you snap back to old habits, sometimes worse off than before. The exact same pattern happens with money. If your budget feels like a straitjacket, you'll hate it, resist it, and inevitably abandon it. You'll feel like you're constantly saying no. Here's the radical, empowering reframe. Budgeting isn't a diet. It's your financial GPS. It's not about saying no to everything. It's a powerful tool to help you consciously direct your money towards your desired destination. It's about making deliberate, thoughtful choices about where your limited resources go, aligning your spending not with some arbitrary rules, but with your personal values and your specific goals. Imagine trying to drive to a new city without a map or GPS. You might wander around, maybe hit some cool spots accidentally, but you're highly unlikely to reach your intended destination efficiently, or even at all. Your money works the same way. Without a plan, it just goes. Let's use the example. Instead of seeing $500 mysteriously vanish into the black hole of miscellaneous every month, we've all been there, right? A budget helps you decide actively, okay, based on what I value and what I want to achieve, I will allocate $200 for enjoying meals out with friends, $150 for nurturing my hobbies like painting or gaming, and crucially, $150 will go directly towards saving for that online course I want to take to boost my career. This isn't saying no to spending $500. It's saying a resounding yes to specific things that bring you joy, growth, or align with your future self, while consciously choosing to cut or reduce the things that don't. And here's a surprising insight, a myth bust you need to hear. True financial freedom isn't about having an endless, unlimited supply of money where you never have to think about costs. That's a fantasy. True freedom comes from having complete clarity, control, and confidence over the money you do have, however much that is right now. It's knowing where it comes from, where it goes, and consciously directing its flow. That clarity is incredibly powerful. It reduces anxiety and replaces it with agency. This one shift from restriction to direction changed everything for me. Now, for your action step, building on that tracking we talked about, look at the spending data you've tracked over the past week or two, or commit to tracking for the next few days with this goal in mind. Open up a spreadsheet, a notebook, or use a budgeting app. Okay, so you've done the crucial work of mapping your financial landscape. You've seen where money is generally going, maybe even broken it down into broad categories. Now, armed with this basic map, it's time to become the ultimate financial detective and find the hidden drains, what I call your real financial leaks. We're not talking about the big, obvious stuff here: rent, mortgage, essential utilities, loan payments. Those are the foundational costs, the large rivers on your map. The real leaks are subtler. They're like tiny cracks in a pipe, slowly dripping away valuable resources without you noticing the sheer volume of loss over time. These aren't big, one-time expenses. They're the insidious ones that operate on autopilot in the background of your financial life. We're talking about recurring charges you might have completely forgotten about, impulse buys that seemed insignificant in the moment, but stack up like a Jenga tower. Services you signed up for with good intentions, but haven't touched in months. Or those microtransactions that become a daily ritual. Think of it like trying to fill a bucket with holes. No matter how much income you pour in, you're constantly losing money from these undetected spots. The description nails it with the examples. That free trial subscription you meant to cancel but didn't. The gym membership that's only getting a workout from your wallet and definitely not your muscles. The daily stop at the coffee shop or vending machine habit that's just a few dollars here and there, but adds up fast. Or consider the classic, streaming services. You might think you pay a reasonable amount, right? Maybe around $30 for your main one or two, but pull up those statements and you might find Netflix $15, Hulu $10, Disney Plus, $10, Spotify, $10, and Audible, $15. Suddenly, you're looking at $60 a month, as the description points out, or potentially even more with other platforms. And how many of those do you actually use regularly? 2? Maybe 3 on a busy month? That extra $30, $40, or more isn't a huge amount in isolation, but it's $360, $480, or even $600 a year just vanishing into the ether. Here's the surprising insight, the key myth bust in identifying leaks. Many of these aren't about necessity or even a strong conscious desire for the product or service. They're predominantly about inertia and plain old forgetfulness. Signing up was easy. Canceling feels like a chore or just slits your mind amidst everything else. You're paying for something you don't fully value or utilize, simply because the subscription continues automatically, or the small purchase habit is unconscious. This inertia is a significant financial power bleed. It's potential wealth or savings vanishing into thin air, not because you chose to spend it mindfully, but because you failed to unchoose a past decision or break an autopilot habit. It's like playing a video game where your health, your finances, is slowly draining because of unseen status effects. You need to identify those effects before you can cure them. This stage is diagnosis. So what's the immediate, practical action here? It's detective work, pure and simple. Just as the description outlines, grab those bank statements or credit card bills from the last month or two. You've got the basic map from tracking. Now it's time to zoom in with a magnifying glass. Go through them line by line. Highlight every recurring charge, every small, frequent expense that feels like one of these leaks, something that doesn't bring proportionate value or joy compared to its cost. Or perhaps something you've just completely forgotten about. That $1.99 monthly app charge you never use? Highlight it. The $12 monthly box you stopped opening 3 months ago? Highlight it. This one habit changed everything for me when I first got serious about my finances. I found literal hundreds of dollars I was letting slip away month after month without even noticing. Don't feel pressured to cancel anything yet. The goal right now is just identification. See where the money is quietly disappearing. This awareness is the first critical step towards regaining control. You're simply gathering information, building the case against your unconscious spending habits. Ask yourself, as you look at each highlighted item, does this expense truly serve me right now? Is this adding value, or is it just a historical artifact on my statement? This process might feel tedious, like cleaning out a cluttered closet, but uncovering these forgotten drains is incredibly empowering. It's like finding lost money in old coat pockets, but on a much larger, recurring scale, showing you exactly where your potential is bleeding away. So, maybe you went through the last exercise, you dug into your spending, and you found some leaks. Maybe a forgotten subscription you haven't used in months, impulse buys that added up, or memberships you signed up for with the best intentions but never actually used. It can sting a little, right? That initial reaction, wow, I waste that much? It feels like money gone, vanished into thin air, and finding these hidden outflows can feel discouraging initially. But here's the powerful reframing, the mindset shift that changes everything. That money wasn't gone forever. Think of it like water from a hose. It wasn't lost. It was simply flowing in an unintentional, unproductive direction. And this is precisely where the power lies. Because now, Armed with that awareness, you have the power to consciously redirect it. This is the heart of the Earn Flow Zone concept truly coming alive. It's about taking money that was flowing away from your goals, whether that's debt freedom, building wealth, or funding a new venture, and purposefully directing it towards them. It's not wasted potential anymore. It's fuel waiting to be aimed correctly. Let's take the example from our outline. Imagine you found $150 a month in these leaks. It might not sound like a fortune on its own, but let's look at what $150 a month, consciously directed, can actually do. For the beginner, maybe someone feeling overwhelmed by debt, $150 extra isn't just $150. Directed consistently towards that high-interest credit card, it can significantly accelerate your debt repayment journey, potentially saving you hundreds, even thousands in interest over time. It's like finding an extra gear in your race to financial freedom. For the mid-earner, perhaps someone focused on building long-term wealth, $150 invested consistently, month after month, leveraging the magic of compound interest, can grow into a truly substantial amount over years. We're talking 5 figures, maybe even 6, depending on time and returns. It's not just money, it's future opportunity being built brick by brick. Or consider the ambitious builder, the entrepreneur, the person looking to level up their skills or start a side hustle. $150 isn't lunch money. It could fund that online course you've been eyeing, buy the necessary software to streamline your workflow, or even provide the initial budget to test a small side project idea. Here's the surprising insight, the myth bust that flips the script. Redirecting money isn't primarily about earning more money initially. It's about making your existing money, the money already flowing through your life, work exponentially smarter for you. It's leveraging what you already have by giving it a specific, intentional purpose tied to your deepest goals. Most people focus only on increasing income, which is great, but they completely miss the power of optimizing the flow they currently manage. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket by adding more water faster instead of just patching the hole. Patching the hole is often the faster, more efficient path to getting that water where you actually want it to go. This one shift in perspective, from "I need more money" to "How can I make the money I have work harder?" changed everything for me personally. So here is your concrete action step from this section. Look at 1 or 2 of the most significant leaks you identified in the previous step. Decide today, right now, where that specific money will go instead next month. Don't be vague about it. Be specific. Don't just say savings or investing. Say, for instance, the $30 from canceling that unused streaming subscription will go directly into my high-yield savings account, earmarked for my emergency fund. Or the $60 I typically spend on unplanned weekend impulse buys will now be automatically transferred to my low-cost index fund investment account on the first Monday of the month. Try this for a month. See the immediate, tangible impact of directing that previously unintentional flow. That redirected flow isn't lost money. It's money reclaimed and redeployed as a powerful force working for you. It's your money, finally given a mission that serves your future. Align your money with your values. Ever feel like budgeting is just saying no? Like a never-ending financial diet where you're constantly hungry for the fun money, always feeling deprived? You cut here, you trim there, and maybe you save a bit, but it often feels painful, unsustainable, And let's be honest, pretty boring. This is where traditional budgeting often falls short, feeling like a restrictive cage rather than a path to freedom. People often get stuck in this cycle of cutting for cutting's sake, and it rarely lasts because it doesn't tap into genuine motivation. But what if your money wasn't just about restriction? What if it was about creation? This is where the magic happens, the shift that transforms budgeting from a rigid diet into a powerful life design tool. Sustainable financial control isn't about how little you can spend. It's about making sure every dollar serves a purpose you genuinely care about. It comes when you start aligning your spending with what you truly, deeply value in your life. What is that for you? Is it experiences and travel? Is it security and peace of mind? Is it learning and personal growth? Is it time with family, health and well-being, or the freedom to pursue your passions? Think about it. Someone who places a high value on experiences and travel isn't cutting expenses on clothes or eating out randomly. They're choosing to redirect that money towards something that brings them immense joy, their next adventure. For them, saying no to an impulse purchase isn't deprivation. It's an active yes to a plane ticket or a unique activity. The money isn't being cut. It's being reassigned to build the life they desire. On the flip side, someone who values security above almost everything else might happily cut back on subscriptions, entertainment, or expensive hobbies to build a robust emergency fund. To them, that growing safety net feels like building a fortress, not making sacrifices. Here's the surprising insight, the one that challenges common thinking about financial discipline. Knowing your core values makes financial decisions easier. Instead of wrestling with every potential purchase based purely on cost, you have a powerful filter. When faced with a spending choice, you can ask yourself, does this align with what's truly important to me? Does this move me closer to the life I want, or pull me away? If it doesn't align, saying no becomes simpler, less fraught with internal conflict, because you're not just saying no to a purchase, you're saying a more powerful yes to something you value even more. It's like having a built-in financial GPS guiding you towards your most important destinations. So here's an action for you, a simple exercise that many find transformational. This one habit changed everything for me, shifting money from a source of stress to a tool for building the life I want. Grab a notebook or open a digital document. Spend just 10 minutes, set a timer if you like, and list your top 3 to 5 core life values. Don't overthink it. What genuinely matters to you? Now, take a look at your recent spending, maybe using a banking app or that list of leaks we talked about earlier. Ask yourself honestly, are your current spending habits supporting these values, or are they detracting from them, pouring money into things that don't truly nourish you? Identify just one specific way you can shift your spending this week, even a small one, to better align with one of your core values. Start steering your money with your heart and watch how different it feels. All right, let's talk about a principle that might just be the single most impactful shift you can make for your financial future. We call it the future self tax, and it's the heart of intentional financial flow. Think about it. You meticulously pay your rent or mortgage. Your utility bills arrive like clockwork. The credit card company sends its statements, and the government definitely gets its cut. You fulfill all these obligations to external entities, treating them as non-negotiable creditors. But here's the critical question. Do you pay yourself? This is where the concept of paying yourself first comes in. It means consciously and intentionally setting aside money for your future well-being, whether that's building savings, making investments, or aggressively paying down debt, before you allow yourself to spend money on anything discretionary. Your future self isn't just some abstract concept. They are a non-negotiable creditor, just like your landlord or the tax office. You wouldn't dream of skipping your rent payment to buy new gadgets, would you? Yet, far too many people routinely shortchange their future selves for immediate gratification. The common, almost instinctual approach is to live through the month, spend as needed, and often just because you can, and then hope there's something left over at the end to save or invest. And here's the surprising insight, the one that trips up so many. For the vast majority of people, there is rarely, if ever, anything substantial left over. It's not because they don't earn enough. It's a fundamental law of financial gravity that life, and all its enticing spending opportunities, simply expands to fill the income available. Your money seems to have legs, running away before you can catch it. It's like trying to fill a sieve with water. If you wait for it to collect on its own, you'll be waiting forever. By flipping this script, by automatically directing a predetermined portion of your income to savings or investments the moment your paycheck hits your account, you cut off its escape routes. You guarantee that your future self is taken care of, non-negotiably, before the spending cycle even begins. This isn't just about the money itself. It's about building the habit, reinforcing the mindset that you are your most important financial priority. It's a powerful psychological shift. Think of it like scheduling your most important business meetings first thing in the morning, before distractions pile up, or like prepaying for your gym membership to ensure you actually go. Let's look at how this plays out. For someone just starting out, maybe with limited funds, the future self-tax might be a modest $20 per paycheck, automatically transferred to a separate savings account. That might seem small, almost insignificant, but that tiny act isn't just about the $20. It's about building the habit and creating that initial buffer, proving to yourself that it's possible. A mid-earner might set up an automated transfer of 10% of their income directly into a low-cost index fund as soon as they're paid. Someone who's ambitious and building might automate transfers into a dedicated business development fund or a specific investment portfolio targeted at growth. The amount is less critical than the act of prioritizing yourself first. This one habit changed everything for me. It stops the endless cycle of "I'll save next month" and replaces it with concrete, consistent action. Your action right now. Decide on an amount, any amount, whether it's $10, $50, 1% of your income, or whatever feels like a small but significant commitment that you will pay to your future self from your very next paycheck. Set a reminder on your phone to manually transfer it the day you get paid. Or even better, figure out how to set up an automatic transfer through your bank or payroll system. It's a tax you'll actually want to pay. Next, automate your intentional flow. All right, let's talk about taking that powerful intention we just discussed and making it stick. Because here's the truth, and it's maybe a bit uncomfortable. Your willpower? It's finite. Think of it like a battery. Every decision, every resistance to impulse drains a little bit of that charge. Relying on yourself to consciously make the right financial decision, the intentional decision, every single time? That's a recipe for failure, wrapped in good intentions. Life happens. Your boss is stressing you out. That tempting online ad pops up when you're bored. Your friends are going out and splitting the bill for expensive drinks. It's incredibly easy, almost effortless, to slip back into that unconscious default flow where your money just goes. where you react instead of act deliberately. This is where systems come in. Unlike your tired, decision-fatigued brain at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday, systems are tireless. They don't get bored, they don't get tempted, and they certainly don't forget. Automating your intentional financial decisions is like setting your financial GPS on cruise control. You decide the destination once, you hit set, and the car just handles the consistent, sometimes monotonous work of staying on track. The power here lies in automation removing the friction from good financial habits, and brilliantly, adding friction to bad ones. When your intentional decisions are automated, the money designated for your future isn't just sitting in your checking account, begging to be impulse spent on another gadget you don't need or that third latte this week. It's already moved. The surprise isn't just that automation makes saving easy. It's that it makes spending on non-intentional things harder. You have to consciously undo the system, which requires that precious, finite willpower. Precisely when you don't want to spend impulsively. Think about it. Set up an automatic future self-tax transfer. The minute your paycheck hits, a percentage or a set amount gets zapped over to a savings or investment account. You literally don't even see the money in your main account, so you can't spend it. Automate your bill payments so you never miss a due date and incur late fees, which are basically burning money for zero value. If you're aggressively tackling debt, set up automatic extra payments. Investing for the long haul? Set up automatic contributions every pay cycle, whether it's $50 or $500. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being smart. You made the intentional decision once. Say, I want to build an emergency fund, or I want to invest for retirement. And now the system executes it consistently, effortlessly. Let me share a quick example. I knew a professional. Super smart guy, great job, but financially stressed. He'd intend to transfer savings every month, but life would get busy. He'd forget, or he'd see the money in his account and a tempting purchase would come up, and he'd spend it, promising himself he'd save next month. This cycle went on for years. His emergency fund was non-existent. We set up an automatic transfer of 15% of his income to a separate high-yield savings account, scheduled 2 days after payday, allowing time for the check to clear. He barely noticed the money was gone from his main account. Within a year, he had built a significant emergency fund, then started directing that automatic flow towards investments, all without having to think about it month after month. His entire financial trajectory shifted because he replaced unreliable willpower with a tireless system. Your action right now, today, is to set up one automatic transfer. Pick one: your future self-tax amount to savings, an automated bill payment, an extra debt payment, or an investment contribution. Just one. Go do it. Make intentionality the default setting, not a constant battle. You've built the foundation. You see your money flow, you're directing it, maybe automating parts. You're no longer just plugging leaks or trying desperately not to spend. That's essential defense, like learning to block in football. But guess what? Defense alone doesn't win championships. This is the pivotal moment you transition from playing defense with your money to playing potent offense. You're not just stopping the bleeding. You're actively deploying resources to accelerate your growth. Welcome, truly, to the Earn Flow Zone. It's not merely about keeping money. It's about strategically making your money work harder for you, turning saving into a launchpad for earning. Think about the capital you're no longer hemorrhaging to those tiny, unconscious leaks. The forgotten subscriptions you pay for but never use. We've all been there, paying for a gym membership while becoming one with the couch. The impulse buys fueled by boredom, scrolling online, the convenience, costs that nickel and dime you into oblivion. That money isn't just sitting in your account feeling lonely. It's freed up capital. But more than that, the mental energy you're no longer spending feeling guilty or stressed about those leaks, that's powerful, freed up cognitive bandwidth. It's like decluttering your mind and your wallet simultaneously, making space for opportunity. This newly liberated capital and mental energy become your fuel for intentional spending. This is precisely where your spending habits stop being a liability and become an asset, a direct accelerator of your earning and growth potential. You're no longer just buying things, you're becoming an investor in yourself, in your future, in assets that appreciate. What does this offensive financial strategy look like in practice? It's spending intentionally on a high-quality online course to acquire a skill directly applicable to a side hustle or career advancement. It's investing in better tools or software that significantly increase your productivity or the quality of your work. It's consistently putting money into appreciating assets like dividend-paying stocks or real estate that generate passive income. It's funding targeted marketing for your small business. It's even using those saved dollars to judiciously buy back your time by outsourcing a low-value task so you can focus on high-impact activities. Each dollar spent here isn't gone. It's sent out on a strategic mission to bring back multiples of itself. Here's the truly mind-bending part. The surprising insight that challenges common thinking. Eliminating unconscious, wasteful spending doesn't just save money in a static way. It creates the capacity, both financially and psychologically, to spend more effectively and intentionally on things that provide leverage and accelerate your growth. It feels counterintuitive at first, doesn't it? Like, I worked hard to save. Now you're telling me to spend? Yes, but with purpose, with a calculated plan, and with an expected return on investment. You're not spending less overall in the long run. You are radically redirecting unproductive, depleting spending into highly productive, compounding spending. Remember that person who diligently cut $300 a month in various leaks? They didn't just leave it to gather dust in a savings account. They deployed it strategically. $100 went into a relevant online course to boost a critical skill. $100 funded a small test run of online ads for their fledgling side project. And the remaining $100 was invested consistently in a broad market index fund. They weren't just not wasting money. They were actively deploying that $300 to directly increase their earning potential and build real, lasting assets. That's the profound shift in mindset. That's playing offense in the earn flow zone. This one habit of consciously redirecting saved money changed everything for me. It dramatically shifted my mindset from scarcity. How do I save every single penny? To abundance. How can I intelligently use this saved money to make more pennies work for me? Your crucial reflection for this section is to ask yourself, how have your current intentional spending habits, or even just the simple act of plugging those sneaky financial leaks, freed up resources, not just liquid cash, but precious time and valuable mental energy too? Where could you now intentionally invest those resources, even seemingly small amounts, into something that has the potential to directly increase your future earning potential or build lasting wealth? Stop just saving. Start thinking like an investor in your own potential. Section 11. Your intentional flow zone. Description: You've walked through the process. From feeling the dread of unconscious spending to seeing your money's flow, identifying leaks, redirecting funds intentionally, aligning spending with values, paying yourself first, and automating the system. The core principle is simple but profound. Where your money flows today determines your future financial power. It's not about cutting every pleasure. It's about injecting intentionality into every financial decision, big or small. It's about moving from a passive, reactive stance to an active, proactive one. It's about using your money as a tool, not letting it be a source of anxiety or a runaway train. So, what happens if you ignore this lesson? You stay stuck in the cycle. You continue to feel that knot of anxiety when you check your bank account. You'll keep wondering where the money went. You'll remain on the financial treadmill, working hard, but never quite getting ahead because your money is flowing out through invisible leaks or towards things that don't truly serve your long-term goals or values. Opportunities to save, invest, or build will pass you by because the capital and clarity aren't there. The feeling of being out of control persists, breeding stress and limiting your potential. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to change the flow, starting right now. You have the map from tracking, the knowledge from identifying leaks and values, and the tools, budgeting, paying yourself first, automation. The only missing piece is consistent action. So, what's the absolute, non-negotiable next step you will take today? Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Pick one action from this script. Track your spending for the next 3 days. Identify just one recurring leak to cut. Set up one automatic transfer of any amount to savings. Just one. Start the flow. Enter your intentional financial flow zone. Your future self is depending on you. Okay, you've journeyed through the blueprint. You've faced the initial discomfort, peeked behind the curtain of your unconscious spending habits, and hopefully felt that little spark of possibility as you identified where your money could be going. We've talked about mapping the flow, patching the leaks, aligning your spending with what truly matters to you, setting yourself up for success by paying yourself first, and even putting the whole thing on autopilot. It sounds like a lot, but the core principle, the real secret sauce, is incredibly simple yet carries immense power. Where your money flows today fundamentally shapes your future financial reality. Think of it like water flowing downhill. You can either let it trickle away aimlessly into the sand, or you can build channels, redirecting its force to power something meaningful, like a small turbine or irrigate a field. It's not about damming the river entirely and living in scarcity. It's about injecting intentionality into every decision about where that flow goes. It's the critical shift from being a passive passenger in your financial life, constantly reacting to unexpected detours and potholes, to becoming the active, proactive pilot, charting your course deliberately. Your money stops being this scary, elusive thing and starts becoming a powerful tool, a vehicle for building the life you actually want. Now, let's be real. People often underestimate the inertia of inaction. You've got the knowledge now, right? You see the leaks. You know what you should do. But what happens if you hear all this and do nothing? You stay right where you are, stuck in that familiar, uncomfortable cycle. You know that knot in your stomach when you check your bank account, or worse, avoid checking it altogether? That doesn't magically disappear. You'll continue playing the where did it all go game, month after month. You'll feel like you're on that financial treadmill, running hard, sweating, but the scenery never changes. You're just not getting ahead. Why? Because your money is still quietly flowing out through those invisible cracks or heading towards things that are momentary distractions rather than stepping stones to your long-term goals or deeply held values. Those opportunities to save for a down payment, invest in your future, or simply build a comfortable cushion, they'll keep passing you by because the capital and, crucially, the clarity aren't there. That persistent feeling of being out of control, it continues to breed anxiety and stress, quietly limiting your potential in every area of your life. But here's the powerful truth. You absolutely do have the power to change this flow. Right now, you've got the map. You've tracked or understand the need to track. You've got the knowledge. You can identify the drains and know what you truly value. You've got the tools, budgeting methods, the pay-yourself-first rule, automation strategies. The only piece missing is the one that unlocks everything else: consistent, deliberate action. And the surprising fact is, you don't need to overhaul everything at once to start. This isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. So I want you to ask yourself and be brutally honest. What is the absolute, non-negotiable next step you will take today? Not tomorrow, when you feel more motivated. Not next week, when things calm down. Today. Right after this video finishes, pick just one action from everything we've discussed. Will you install a tracking app and commit to tracking your spending for the next 3 days? Will you look at your last bank statement and identify just one recurring leak you can cut, even a small one? Will you take 2 minutes to set up one automatic transfer of any amount? Seriously, even $5 from your checking to your savings account. Just one small step. That's all it takes to start redirecting the flow. That's how you begin to enter your intentional financial flow zone. This isn't just busy work. It's laying the foundation for future freedom. Your future self is literally depending on you to make this choice right now. Choose intentionality. Choose the flow.